Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Former Browns receiver set to work out for rival Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are bringing in former Cleveland Browns receiver Daylen Baldwin for a closer look. Baldwin is slated to work out for the Steelers on Monday, August 5, per NFL insider Aaron Wilson. Baldwin went undrafted in 2022 but was picked up by the Browns. He spent most of his time in Cleveland on the practice squad, appearing in just one game in 2022, the only action of his career so far. Baldwin has 2 catches for 25 yards on his resume. Baldwin also spent parts of last season with the Minnesota Vikings and Atlanta Falcons practice squads. He'll try to earn a roster spot on a Steelers team that is in need of wide receiver depth. The unit in Pittsburgh is headlined by George Pickens, who had 1,140 receiving yards last season. Van Jefferson, Quez Watkins, Scott Miller and third-round pick Roman Wilson will also be in the mix for the Steelers. Baldwin is not a big name, but it always means more in the AFC North when players are potentially moving between teams. The Browns have been making some headlines of their own involving wide receivers. Cleveland has been linked to trade rumors involving disgruntled San Francisco 49ers star Brandon Ayuk, who is seeking a lucrative new deal. The Browns have a solid top 3 of Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, and Elijah Moore. Younger receivers like Cedric Tillman and David Bell are also expected to contribute. However, the idea of landing Ayuk via trade has caused some conversation. It's a move team insider Mary Kay Cabot of Cleveland.com believes the Browns should investigate. If the Browns hope to land him, they'd have to make the 49ers an offer they couldn't refuse, which might have to include Amari Cooper or possibly the Browns' first-round pick in 2025, Cabot said on August 4. I wrote back on July 16 when he first asked to be traded that the Browns should and probably would at least inquire. The Browns have not been shy about making impactful trades, especially at the receiver position, if they feel it will bring the team closer to a Super Bowl. Cooper, Jeudy and Moore were all acquired through trades. If the Browns choose to roll with what they currently have at wide receiver, they'll have 2 very motivated players in Cooper and Moore. Both players are heading into contract years and will want to put up solid numbers to cash in on their next deals. Cooper had staged a holdout during mandatory minicamp but showed up on time for training camp thanks to a restructured deal. Former Steelers quarterback Kenny Pickett falling apart with the Eagles. Going through the off-season workout process, many in Philadelphia seemed head over heels for Kenny Pickett. The Steelers dealt their future at quarterback after he requested a trade. He did not feel comfortable with the addition of Russell Wilson and wanted a change of scenery. Pittsburgh obliged and sent Pickett to the Eagles. Since then, the Steelers added Justin Fields to their quarterback room and things seem to be working out for Pittsburgh. Ever since training camp began in Philadelphia, Pickett has started to show his true colors. Many thought he could carry quality performances at minicamp into their preseason process. The opposite has happened, and now it seems like Pickett could be losing his grip on the backup spot with the Eagles. It seemed like a slam dunk for the former first-round pick, but that is not the case anymore. Fields appears to be an upgrade over Pickett thus far, and the Steelers could not be happier with how things are currently unfolding. According to Elliot Shore-Parks of 94 WIP, Pickett's lack of quality practices at training camp seems to be bringing on a backup quarterback controversy in Philadelphia. Might be time to have the Tanner McKee over Kenny Pickett discussion. Would be very curious to see them both get reps with the first-team offense just to see who does better. It might be McKee, Shore-Parles tweeted. Pickett had the backup spot in the bag, much like he would have had with the Steelers if he stayed. Now things don't seem so stable for him with the Eagles after only being there since the middle of March. His current employer might be inclined to give McKee an opportunity to jump Pickett for the second quarterback spot on the depth chart. It seems like a troublesome comedy for Pickett as he could have had a better chance if he just stayed in Pittsburgh. Yes, Russell Wilson is still likely to be the starting quarterback over Fields, but there is no guarantee now. Wilson has missed significant time in training camp with a nagging calf injury. Those first-team reps have gone to Fields, which he has taken advantage of. We will never know how Pickett would have reacted to taking those reps from Wilson, but Fields is taking full advantage. It has created a potential quarterback controversy, especially with each passing day where Wilson misses time at training camp. The grass isn't always greener, and Pickett is starting to learn that the hard way. If McKee can unseat Pickett for the backup spot with the Eagles, his career could start a downward spiral. A year can make a big change in anyone's life. Pittsburgh was rooting hard for Pickett as he was expected to become the prime quarterback for the Steelers around this time last year. Now he is with the Eagles, struggling to hang on to a backup spot because he can't be consistent enough with Philadelphia. Nothing will be given to Pickett anymore, and his career could be in jeopardy if he doesn't turn things around. Pittsburgh Steelers suddenly linked to 1,200-yard 9-touchdown wide receiver. The Pittsburgh Steelers will be one of the more interesting teams to watch in 2024. They will, likely, be rolling with Russell Wilson as QB1, with Justin Fields possibly getting some playing time as well. The NFL rarely ever sees a two-quarterback offense, however, the Steelers could implement a version of one this coming season. However, there could be another big addition on the way for the offense in the form of a 1,200-yard wide receiver. The 33rd team released a mock draft for 2025, and they had the Steelers taking Luther Burden III out of Missouri. Luther Burden III is the clear top receiver in the class, a slick-footed dynamo who can do everything he's asked at a high level. Pittsburgh's bare receiving room outside George Pickens needs a boost, and Burden can be the next franchise superstar. Depending on how the Russell Wilson-Justin Fields experience goes in 2023, the other consideration could be at quarterback. Entering the 2025 NFL draft cycle, Burden grades out as a mid to late first-round prospect. He's a definite round 1 candidate and a contender for the WR1 mantle in the upcoming class. A former 5-star recruit, athleticism and talent are two clear strong points of Burden's profile. To that end, he's an incredibly unique WR prospect. He has a well-leveraged, dense, and compact frame, but he also has the length to pry past defenders, extend, and snare high-difficulty throws. Past his measurements, Burden is as dynamic as they come. He's a hyper-elite explosive threat with game-breaking short-area twitch and agility, and his energized motion allows him to create space and recalibrate at a moment's notice. With his combined speed, explosiveness, agility, and twitch, play strength, and contact balance, Burden is a devastating RAC threat. He also has the sturdy hands and body control to corral high-difficulty attempts and convert on chances time and time again. Where Burden stands to improve most is as a route runner. His sense of positioning, footwork efficiency, pressing technique, and consistency can all improve. But even then, Burden has the bend, flexibility, sharp angle freedom, and zone awareness to sustain a high ceiling, and he's already an alignment versatile weapon. Already, Burden is worthy of round 1 capital. And if he can improve his consistency as a route runner, he can be a true blue-chip WR talent, a top 10 selection, and one of the better WR prospects we've seen over the 5 years. Steelers fans have been pounding the table for the team to add Brandon Ayuk. If that doesn't pan out, the next option could be Burden. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Luther Burden? Leave your opinion in the comments.